Hey, my group number twos. How's it going? This reading is for those who chose this really pretty moonstone right here. It's just like it goes on a necklace. It's a little charm. So, I'll start out with your oracle cards, and then I'll get into the tarot. After that, I'll try not to babble too much with the oracle cards, but you know how I do. So, I will say though that I did pre-shuffle these, and I do take notes, but only because I have so much to say that I forget what I want to say, like a lot, and so I write it down. But you'll see, obviously, if you've watched any of my other readings, you'll see how it all ties in together, and then I'll go ahead and do your tarot, which I have not pre-pulled, so you can see that how well the tarot cards are lining up with what the oracle cards are saying, and that I'm not full of shit. I don't know why I always feel like I have to say that, but oh well. So anyways, without further ado, so the Moonstone, like I said, and the Moonstone talks about nourishment. It talks about vitality. It has a calming effect. It relieves stress and soothes, and it heals emotional instability and stress. So for this group, obviously, your protectors, obviously, you bring vitality, you bring life into people. Since this reading is about how other people see you or how other people perceive you, that's one of the things that I'm getting with the Moonstone, obviously. Also, too, you do have this like calming effect on people. You have like a very soothing voice. People, when people get advice from you, they not only listen to the advice that you give, but they also pick up on or like to hear you talk, because you do have such a soothing voice, and people really, they get a sense of calmness from that. So, like I say, obviously you breathe life into people because you yourselves are you enjoy life. Like you try to see and take your time in observing things like nature or things like that. So the first oracle card that we have is I Got Your Back. Okay, let me move this over here. I Got Your Back. We've got God of the Underworld. Okay, and it says, something which no longer serves you is about to end. Then we've got Cooperation. And we've got the King of Pentacles. We've got Judgment. For your moon oracle, we've got Take Time to Breathe Out. The disseminating moon. It looks like this. It's kind of like going away, starting to like go away. Disseminating. Take time to breathe out. Then we've got Deep Replenishment. Retreat, rest, and be held. Retreat, rest, and be held. It's pretty. Smelling the flowers there, like I said a while ago. You're definitely somebody that this group is very in tune with nature, and they like to stop and smell the roses, so to speak. And that's interesting because this moon right here, obviously it's a disseminating moon and it's starting to go away, you know. But this moon right here it's waxing, if that makes any sense. It's waxing, which waning means going, waxing means coming in. So like that one's going away, but this one's coming in. It's like this cycle, and it's like a slow, very slow energy that's going on here, which I'll get more into that in a moment. Then we've got Benevolent Man, and we've got Message of Concern. Just reading a little note there, like, oh my goodness. We've got Child. We've got I wanted to do this one first. I Deserve Respect. And I Am Fearless. And I got this fun little millennial tarot deck that I just recently got. It's like a generation, like millennium generation, and it's kind of just like a fun, funny little thing that describes, you know, a person. So we've got the Soul Cyclist. So you guys are the Soul Cyclists. And then on the back it says qualities: healthy, gluten-free, lavish sweetie. A lavish sweetie. Through the trance of rhythmic pedaling, you make inner progress without actually going anywhere. Are you sweating to cleanse your inner critic, or to better define your high gap? Your thigh gap, sorry. Let me read that again. Through the trance of rhythmic pedaling, you make inner progress without actually going anywhere. Are you sweating to cleanse your inner critic, or to better define your thigh gap? And then it says your place is at Whole Foods, and your totem is kombucha, which is a type of tea. It's a type of tea that's actually like fermented. It's like a really healthy type of tea. It's like you know, it has a lot of, it's made with, I believe, like regular dark tea and green tea, and then they let it sit and like ferment, and then they put different like fruits in it, or honey, or what have you. It's very organic. Yeah, so you might be somebody, obviously, that's a total health freak. You only shop like maybe for organic types of fruits and vegetables. You're gluten-free, you're all health, you know, just like a health fanatic, I guess. So let's start up here with the I Got Your Back. So how people see you or perceive you is that you are obviously a great friend. I got your back, of course. You know, you're just a great person inside and out. And I'm also feeling like people know that you've got their back too, as well. It's not just you have their back, but it's also the other way around. Okay, so if you know, you've heard the saying, keep your circle small. Like a lot of times, you know, you got to keep your circle small because, well, the less people that you have involved in your daily life or what have you, the less drama, I guess, that can come with that. And I feel like for this group that you have actually a really kind of bigger circle, and that's because a lot of people like you. You know, if anybody came up and asked, you know, somebody that knew you, hey, what do you think of this person? And they would be like, totally like, oh, I think, you know, she's a great person, da 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 da. And if somebody came along and tried to maybe talk smack about you, or without even ever like meeting you, or just whatever, like gossiping about you. Like, I feel like that this person that actually does know you would totally have your back and be like, no, no, that's not how it is. Like, that's not how they are. And just like really like people just have your back, and you know, you're just a very likable person. um let's see. Obviously, you're obviously very easy to get along with. Lots of people like you, like I said, and from every walks of life. Any walk of life, like whether, like, regardless of their social status, their race, how they grew up. Um, and so you are someone who can relate to different, all walks of life. You're not judgmental towards people at all. You know, it doesn't matter if they're rich, they're poor. It doesn't matter if they're black, you know, white, Asian, or what have you. You just see people. You don't see the outer layers of people, and many types of cultures too. You know, anybody from, you know, like, I don't know, China, or I don't know, just wherever they come from, India. You just see, you just like to talk to people. You just like to get to know people, and I think that people really like that about you. That you're not someone who is very judgmental at all. Um, so yeah, so you definitely, you go to bat for people a lot. You know, you have this very, with your friends, obviously you just have their back, and that's because, you know, it's like I said, the same way, like they have your back, and you have a lot of people that just like you. You're just a likable person. um and I feel like too that you're you could be, if you're a mother, if you're a woman, you could be like this very overly protective mother. Or maybe your mother, I'm also getting that your mother or parents may have been overly protective towards you growing up, and maybe you didn't get to do a lot of things that a lot of your friends were doing because of this overbearing protectiveness that your parents may have had, and which in turn made you, uh, like, kind of want to, when you became an adult, you know, it made you want to learn about new things. It made you want to learn about different types of people, all from all walks of life. It made you very interested in just discovering things and just getting to know people. You know, you're just curious about the world itself, and just appreciating people for who they are, and appreciating life, and just everything that there is to know about it. It's like you just want to learn, and just want to search, and just want to see what you can find. Like, very kind of adventurous people. Um, so yeah, and you're very, just open-minded, extremely open-minded people. Like I said, again, it's like you don't judge people. I mean, you will take in what people have to say, and even though you may not sometimes understand, or maybe sometimes maybe not agree with them, it's but you're open to what they're having to say, and you will even, you know, consider what they're saying, and take that in, just to have this better maybe understanding of that other person. And so that's why people flock towards you, and that's why people like you a lot. And you know, along with just having, you know, people's backs that do have yours, you know, like, if they have your back, then you know, totally have their back, and they know that, that you don't, if you're done with somebody, then you're done with somebody. Like, if somebody crosses you, or does something to hurt you or your family or what have you, then you have no qualms about just, you know, letting this person go out of your life. Like, most people may, you know, have a hard time letting people go. Um, you do to a certain extent. I'm picking up on, like, for some of you, you will, like, just totally be like, okay, I'm not even, you're not giving me a second chance. But for some of you in this group, I feel like it may take you a minute to do that, because you are so kind and caring, and you know, a lot of times lead with your heart, that you give people, like, probably more chances than they should get. But when you're done with someone, then you're done with someone. That's it, you know. And you will walk away, and you'll walk away for forever. And people know that about you, and people understand that about you. So they really, you know, they don't want to do that, because you are such a great bright light in people's lives, that they know not to, they don't want to, you know. It's just how you are. It's just, people just flock to you. People understand you. You understand others. You empathize well with others, and so people trust you. They trust you with their secrets. They trust you with their money. They trust you with their home. They trust you with your children. You know, you're just a very, very trustworthy person. And then we've got the god of the underworld right here. So, again, a lot of people have your back. And then it says, let go of something that no longer serves you. Well, that again goes back to what I was just saying, that you will let people go. That's just basically saying what, you know, what I was just describing. Like, you have no problem letting people go. And for some of you, you know, right away, like, they only cross you one time and you would be like, I'm done with you. But for some of you, I feel like it may take a little bit longer than that. But when you, like I said, when you're done with them, you're done with them. There's no going back. There's no more chances. That's it. So you, like I said, you know, you don't have any problem with that. So, and also, you have a lot of, for this group, I feel like you have a lot of spirit guides. You have a lot of angels and ancestors, I feel like, because this person, if you look, he kind of looks like Jesus a little bit. And so, yeah, I'm picking up on, yeah, you're very in tune. You've got a lot of spirit guides and angels, and you're well connected. You're well connected with them. They are there with you a lot, with most, like, all the time. They're there with you. So, yeah. And then we got cooperation over here. And so that just, like, means that you're just easygoing. You're just very laid back. Like, this group is so different than my last group. Like, group number one's energy was just, like, so quick, and they're in, they're out, and they're kind of, like, boisterous and all these things. But this group right here is, like, the totally, well, not totally, but in this sense of, like, their energy, like, you're just more laid back and calm and cool and collected, I guess. So you're very easy to get along with, obviously. You're a wonderful listener, and I feel like, for, you know, most of you, you make a really good partner for someone, because you know how to cooperate, and you know how to compromise very easily. You compromise things very, very easily. You know how to do that. And I think that people that you meet, like, of the opposite sex, find that very appealing and attractive. You know, they see you as somebody that would be a great partner. And then we've got the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck of tarot. He moves slow. And pentacles, of course, represent earth. They represent worldly things. They represent things that we can touch, you know, things that are earthly, the things that we can see. They represent our monetary, like our finances and career and things like that. So our money, you know. And so therefore they're just a very slow moving energy. And that goes back to what I was saying a while ago about how this group likes to just kind of just stop and smell the roses. Well, that's what the King of Pentacles is about, you know. They just love, they love to just stop and smell the roses. They love to go out in nature. They want to experience new things. They want to learn new things, and they take their time to absorb that and really hone in and get to know not just people, but like I said, other things. They just want to just live life and just see and experience like everything, and they take and they respect that. They respect others, and they respect the earth, and like, again, like, that's probably why a lot of you are like health nuts, because a lot of people like that, you know, are like a like maybe vegetarian or vegan or things like that. They don't eat any meat, or like health conscious, and that's probably because you are so in tune with the earth, and things like that, that, you know, you're just one of those people that are just conscious of what you're putting inside your body. So let's move on. So we've got so this King of Pentacles. Yeah, he's very stable energy, and also too, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my notes here. Now I can't even read my own handwriting. That's great. Yeah, so and also too, yes, that's what I was going to say. For this group too, is you know how to hold down fort. You know what I mean? Like, you're very, very stable people. You're very extremely stable. You're very structured. You're very structured. You don't like change. And you have to, for this group, it's like you have to have a routine in your life. Like, if you don't have a routine in your life, you will get lost very, very quickly, and it can cause some anxiety and some stress if you're not on your daily routine. Like, if something kind of gets messed up, or there's like a wedge or something in your day, it just really kind of brings a lot of stress and anxiety for you guys in this group, and so yeah, we, for this group, kind of have to sometimes realize that you know, we can't always be calm, cool, and collected, and we can't always control things that are out of our control. We can't control things that happen in our lives, and we can't always, you know, just get so freaked out when something isn't going right, or what have you. So, but yeah, that's what I'm getting also for this group. Then we've got judgment. And like I said a while ago, you know, you don't judge others. If anything, you may be more judgmental of yourselves. Like, if you are in your routine, and something gets, like I said, there's a wedge in your routine. It's like you might get upset, and get in your head about it really badly, like thinking that maybe it's your fault. Like, why did I do that? If I hadn't have done that, then this wouldn't have happened. It's like you get like so very judgmental of yourself, and kind of blame yourself a lot for things that are out of your control, and so it gets you in kind of inside your head a lot, because you're overthinking it, and sometimes we can't control everything. So yeah, you may worry about how others perceive you also, and this is something that's kind of funny, because it's ironic, because you worry about how others perceive you, but others perceive you like they just love you. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, it's just very ironic situation. So if this reading, you know, helps you with that, like, understand that you are very likable, you are loved by many people, and you shouldn't, like, this group should not worry about that, because how others perceive you, because people just, you know, love you, they flock to you. Like I said, you're a very calming, soothing person, and an energy in people's lives. They can call upon you whenever they need to talk to you. But at the same time, you keep strict boundaries. You know how to keep strict boundaries with people. So people know not to call on you too much, but they know that when and if you do, that you totally have their back 100%, and that you will do anything that you can to help them and talk them through a certain situation. But you do set boundaries a lot. Like with my group ones, they weren't the best at setting boundaries. So, but this group is totally, you know, like I said, it goes back to being structured. You know, you have to have that structure. You can't have too many kinks in your day and take on too much energy, because it will totally just mess with you mentally and emotionally. So you really know how to set, you guys are really good at setting those types of boundaries. So yeah. And also too, I feel like for this group is, you don't have to, with like your friends outside of your family, the people that you're probably closest to, you don't have to talk to them every day. You don't have to like talk to each other every day to know this, like to know that you've got one another's back. I mean, you don't have to talk to like your best friend or your friends in general every single day for them to know that whenever they pick up the phone and they call you when they need something, that you're most likely going to be there. I mean, unless you have some other type of routine that's very, very, you know, like important, that you will usually drop what you're doing to help them, but to a certain extent, like you do have those boundaries. But if it's just something like, you know, like they're having a crisis or they just need somebody to talk to, you're just, like I say, you're just a very calming, soothing voice, and they listen to you, and they take your advice to heart. So yeah. So then we've got the I can't even say it, disseminating moon up here. And so this talks about, like, again, the routine. You have to basically get yourself back grounded again when if your routine gets a little out of whack. So I'm feeling like for, you know, a lot of you, most of you, that you've really kind of got to take your energy back very easily. It's like you pull it back, you know what I mean? You'll give so much, but you also pull it back at the same time, because you know when you can't really take on any more of other people's stuff, and other people know that about you also. So that's why, one of the reasons why they don't always call upon you for every single little thing or problem that goes on in their lives. So again, but when that does happen, when it does like kind of start stressing you out, or starts to get under your skin, and you're starting to get anxious and these things, you know, this card right here is saying deep replenishment, saying retreat, rest, and be held. So, you know, again, for this group, there she is, like I said, we'll go smelling the roses, soaking up nature, and having her alone time, because for this group, you have to have your alone time. It's vital, very vital, and I know that it's probably very hard for this group to do that. It's very hard for this group to do that. So this card is saying, you know, you need that every day. I mean, even if it's for like 30 minutes a day, you know, whatever, just, you know, just to breathe, just to breathe, and just calm down, and calm your mind, and things like that. So, and people also too, they know where they stand with you. There's no you're pretty much honest, almost to a fault. People don't have to guess. Like, again, they don't have to guess whether or not you've got their back. They know you do, 100%. They don't have to second guess themselves with you. Like, they don't have to worry about whether or not, you know, they can bring their significant other around you when you might like try to like go behind their back and do no, like people just trust you 100%, you know, and they know where they stand with you. Like you're very honest. Like if you are done with someone and something happens that you're just done with that person, they know better than to never basically call you again. Or it's not that you'll be rude to them or just be blatantly mean to them, it's just like, you know, they just know not to just to try to talk to you or come near you or whatever, because they know where they stand, you know. So and then we've got the, oh, I already talked about the deep replenishment. So and then we've got the benevolent man over here, the benevolent man, which is actually the King of Cups, the King of Cups in the traditional tarot. And basically the benevolent man, he rules with emotion. And so going back to what I was saying earlier is that for a lot of you, some of you, maybe a lot of you, that you are such an empathetic person that sometimes, or a lot of times, you do rule with your heart and not your head. So for those of you where it takes a lot of time to be done with someone, is because you do rule with your emotions more so than you do with your mind, because you're just one of those people that are just like that. And it's just, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes it just takes you know, a person more time to because you do see the good in everyone. You want to see the good in everyone, and so therefore it's just your nature to takes a little time for you to finally realize that, oh, okay, yeah, I really can't trust this person. And so you'll give them so many chances, and like I say, it's over, it's done. So again, it also goes back to like the soothing speech that you have. You don't like conflict, you don't like drama, but you will also stand up for what you believe is right. But you don't necessarily like conflict or any type of drama, which goes back to the cooperation card a while ago, which, like when I was talking about how, you know, people of the opposite sex may see you as a great partner, or someone that, you know, that they can have a relationship with, a long-term relationship with, because you are, you know how to cooperate, you know how to basically compromise with people, and you don't like conflict and drama. You don't like to fight. You're not going to sit and fight with somebody all dang day. Like, it's just not who you are. It's just not how you go about things. That drama bullshit is just like, no thanks. It just takes up too much time and energy for you, time and energy that you do not have, for to put a wedge into your routine. Yeah, you definitely care deeply for those that around you, the people that you love. You care deeply and you go hard for them, you know what I mean? Like, you really do. It's like, you know, like your best friend or whatever, if somebody's really hurt them or whatever, it's like you want to just like, even though you don't like conflict, it's like, but in the inside, your blood is boiling, you know what I mean? And you're just like, if I could just get a hold of this person, you know what I mean? Like, you just really go hard for them, but usually you don't act on that, because you're more concerned about what your friend is going through and helping them through it, than concentrating on this other person that's not probably gonna freaking change their ways anyways. It's like pointless. But yeah, I mean, your blood will boil. I mean, you really you do go hard for the people that you love. And so okay, another thing. So with this child card right here, okay, so we've got child. So I'm picking up on lots of different things with this card, actually. So for a lot of you, most of you, a lord, forbid somebody mess with your child, okay? Because you will murder someone. That's like when you turn into a crazy person for this group. I mean, if somebody messes with your child or your children, like, you better watch out. Like, you better run for your freaking life, because, like, you will turn into the straight Hulk, okay? That's what I'm picking up with this group. You're not a violent person. You're not 99% of the time. But let somebody fuck with your child, then you're totally like a crazy person, okay? Yeah. Also, you have this connection with children too. This is what I'm also picking up on. You have this connection with children, like children just kind of like flock to you. Other people's children, even strangers, like just a complete stranger. You're standing in line at Walmart, and you turn around and there's like a little kid there, and they just start talking up a storm to you. You know what I mean? And it's like you just have this bright aura about you, and kids are just very intuitively just drawn to you, and your kindness, and your motherliness, or your fatherliness, or whatever, for my men out there that may be watching this. They're just drawn to you and your bright energy. They're just intuitively know that you are just a good person, and you're playful. You're very playful with children. Like, you're a kid at heart. So also, like, it goes back to the nature thing. Like, kids do, they want to soak up in everything. They want to discover new things. They want to see everything. They want to touch everything. They're very curious, and that's probably another reason why children have a tendency to want to talk to you, and they can see that about you, that you are this like kind of still child at heart. And so I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, you just have this personality of just being a big kid at heart. So okay, so yeah, then we've got, what do we got here? Oh, message of concern. So basically that's what I was just saying. So see how, like, the girl in this card, like, it looks like somebody wrote her a letter or something, and she's got her hand over her heart, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of energy that I'm picking up with this group. It's like people know when they can call upon you. They know they can call upon you, but at the same time, it's like, you better make it good. if that makes any sense at all. It's like, if you're calling me, it better be something very important. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. Which, it's not being mean. It's just, people just know you well enough to know that, like, if they're getting you because you're so important, you really are that important, seriously, that it better be fucking good. So, like, again, like I said, it's like this girl, she's just like very shocked by whatever she's reading, you know what I mean? And she's gonna be, okay, like, here I come, I'm gonna be there, lickety split, you know what I mean? And so that's the energy, like I said, I'm picking up on with this group, So then we've got I am fearless. So basically what I'm getting with that is that when it comes to this group, you aren't afraid to try new things. Like, again, you aren't afraid to tap into your creative side. You aren't afraid to step into different experiences, and you're not afraid to show other people and the world what you've created or what you have, even though you can sometimes, like I said earlier, for some of you can be overly kind of critical of yourselves, and you kind of do worry sometimes about how people perceive you, but at the same time, you have this fearlessness about you, that you're not afraid to dive into new things. You're not afraid to go to different countries. You're not afraid to travel. You're not afraid to see and discover. And like I say, for most of you, that may go back to your upbringing, and maybe your parents being just overly protective. And so yeah, you're not afraid to just live life. And people that just think that that's just this quality that's just so great, you know what I mean? Because not a lot of people have that fearlessness like this group, you know. It's just you know, you're like one of those people that will, like, say for instance, um you're playing, like if you're at a party or something, and you're playing truth or dare, like you don't care to take a dare. You're like, okay, so dare, you know what I mean? So, and you'll pretty much do whatever anybody dares you to do. Like, you're like, okay, well, I can do that, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like you just have this, you're not scared, you just have this fearlessness that's just very, very appealing, and people just find it kind of exciting, and they kind of like to watch what you're doing, and watch how just how fearless you are, and which can in turn, you know, bring a lot of abundance into your life, you know. With the King of Pentacles here, you know, this can be for this group, you being so fearless that it will bring a lot of abundance. And because a lot of people are afraid to do that, you know, they're afraid of what it might bring, potentially like damage their finances, potentially put a wrench in their finances, because, you know, they're just not, they just don't, like, say for instance, you have a piece of artwork that you drew, or something that you spent a lot of time on, and say for instance, you know, a friend or someone says, hey, you know, maybe you should, like, turn that into a contest, or what have you. You're not afraid to do something like that. You're not afraid to enter or submit something that an idea that you might have, and most of the time, like, it turns out well for you. So so it can bring you a lot of monetary gain in your life too, which in turn goes back to creating this stability and routine in your life, and structure into your life, and your home, and with your friends and the people that surround you, you know. So so yeah, and then we've got, you know, respect. I am respected. You know, this group is very, very much respected, or she says, I deserve respect. Of course you do. I mean, you do, and you do. People really do respect this group. They respect your boundaries. They respect who you are as a person. Yeah, so you're very, very, very much loved, and people just think that you're just a great, great person, beautiful person, like inside and out. This group, for sure. So then I'm gonna pull some tarot cards really quick, and then I'll probably get some clarifier cards too, just in case I'm not quite understanding something, but we'll see. And plus, I just kind of like to sometimes, just anyway. So, what else can tell me about number 2, and how people perceive them? How do people see group number 2? Oh, wait. I want you to look here. Now look at this. I can't just make this shit up. The King of Pentacles. Again. The King of Pentacles. Where'd it go? King of Pentacles, y'all. Oh, well, whatever. You've seen it. That's so cool. That is so cool. I was going to cut these cards. Because they're really hard to shuffle, you know? Because of the cardstock on them. But no. They said no. We're just going to give it to you straight right here. And now I'm going to have to cut the seams, apparently, because, I don't know, this one wanted to come out, didn't it? 5 of Cups. Yeah, this kind of goes back to, like I said earlier, about you letting go of people, and how kind of sometimes it's hard for a lot of you to let people go. You give people more chances than they probably deserve, because you have, when you put your time and energy into someone in your life, it's hard for you to just say, okay, well, I'm just done with it. I mean, because you've you have given this person so much time and energy, and you know, and your love and your caringness and all these things. Like, you just want to know for sure that this isn't a person that you need or want in your life, if that makes sense at all. Like, so, and it makes you sad though. It's not like you just totally are like, yeah, I'm done with you and blah blah, and like you never think about this person or have any other feelings towards this person ever again. It's just, you know, that your boundaries, and you know that when there's people that are toxic energies in your life, and in order for you to live the life of this balance and respect and routine and stability, it's just not someone that you need. But it makes you sad. It really does make you sad, and you don't like that. So like, if you see how like the girl's sitting here and she's seeing all these cups, you know, that she's filled up that are now going down the drain here, it really does. It makes her sad. You know what I mean? It hurts her heart. And it does for some. I mean, like, I can feel the energy. I'm not ready to cry myself. Like, it really takes, you know, a lot of time to heal from that, especially with people that you do trust. And but this doesn't happen a lot. I don't feel like this doesn't happen a whole lot, but when it does, it really can affect you. It really affects you. And it takes a lot of time for you to heal from that. I mean, it's not something that you like to do. It's just something that you have to do sometimes, you know. So yeah, there's that for that. So that makes sense why that card would come out, you know. Let's see what else. Ooh, too many. That's too many. Let's see if we can get some more to come out like this. And oh, no, I'm just going to have to cut them, I feel like. I'm just going to have to cut them. But that can't... Okay, not... I can't even talk now. That King of Pentacles came out quickly, didn't it? Okay, boy, here we go. 4 Swords, yeah. Rest. What did I say a while ago? Like I said, I can't just make this shit up, y'all. 4 of Swords, you know, rest and relaxation. You've got to take that time to yourself. You've got to take that time for yourself and replenish, and so you can be the stability, so you can go on with your day in a routine manner. Because if you don't get your rest, obviously, then you can't think clearly, and you can't take care of those that are closest to you, like your family. I'm talking about like your immediate family, like your children and your husband or your wife or what have you. Like, you just, you know, you need to take that time for yourself every day. And I feel like for the most part, you guys know this. You know what I mean? It's not something that you necessarily have to push you to do. Like the group number 1, like I said, they're such a different energy. Like, they're great people and they're very helpful, and they don't know when to draw back their energy sometimes. And they don't know how to, like, a lot of, for group number 1, it's like they don't know how to set those boundaries. So, you know, it takes a lot more energy out of them. But for this group, I feel like that, you know, since you do set boundaries and things like that, that you know that you need this time for yourself. And you're pretty good at taking it. It's not like somebody has to, like, just force you to do that. I feel like that you pretty much know when you're having a lot of, like, fatigue or stress or things like that, when you've been to the point of like, you know, like, you need to rest. You know, for a lot of you, you know that you may have to, like, again with the routine, you know that you have to go to bed at a certain time. You're not somebody that really, like, stays up, like, overly late. You don't have any trouble sleeping. Like, if you see this person right here, she's all nice and cozy in her nest, just sleeping away. Like, you're not one of those people that probably fight insomnia or anything like that. Like, you know, when you hit the bed, you're pretty much done. You're pretty much done. So, yeah. Like, this one wanted to come out. Yeah, the Page of Wands. Like, what did I say earlier? So, the Page of Wands is a child. See here? Your childlike nature. What did I say earlier? you empathize well with children. Children see you, they see your heart, they see your soul, and you're a child at heart. Like, so that's what pages are. They're like the children of the court. You know, they just want to experience everything that there is to experience in life, and you're just very creative people, and you have this passion about you, and fire inside of you that is very childlike, and you see things through like a child, in a childlike manner, through their eyes, and you see things that other people don't see. When we grow up, you know, we have a tendency to not pay attention to those things, and people don't really awe us anymore. You know, it's just kind of like the norm. But you could see the same thing every day, or walk through the same field every day, and discover something new and refreshing and appealing, where other adults are just like, oh, it's the same old like forest, or it's just the same old park, or whatever. It's like, for you, it's just you could go there and find something new and refreshing and cool and whatever about it every time. It's just, that's why, you know, I feel like that you're just a child at heart. And children, you know, pick up on that. So I don't think I'm going to have to get any clarifiers with this group. I think that it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to get one more card here. It's pretty, like, it explains itself here pretty much, you know, goes back to everything that I was just saying, like, so really. The King of Cups. Didn't you have the King of Cups? No, you had the Queen of Cups also. So basically, what I said earlier, yeah, you had the Queen of Cups in one of those, I think. But, so earlier when I was talking about the Queen of Cups there, that the Queen of Cups does rule with her heart, and a lot of times, you know, it does take you to like kind of not really do away, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's like, it takes time for you to let people go in your life that you know don't serve you any purpose, and it is very hurtful, and that's just it. That's what the King of Cups is. He's the master of his emotions. Okay, so for this group, I feel like also that you have to recenter yourself when you are taking this rest and relaxation. You are taking this time for yourself to gather your emotions, because it is painful. So basically, the King of Cups is saying, you know, you have to gain back that control of your emotions, because you can't let it, like I said, consume your day. You can't let it consume too much of your time and energy. But it's not something that you get over easily. It's just something that you have controlled, if that makes any sense. Like, you've learned how to know when to bring it to the surface, deal with it, bring it to the surface, release it, and let it go. Okay, this group is very talented, I guess you could say is the word for it. Not talented, but you are very you know, you just know, you're very in tune with being able to bring it to the surface and release it. Whereas there are times when most of the time people block things out, or they don't want to face the fact that, you know, the pain of something, so they may you know, not basically deal with it or whatever. Like, something bad happens in their life, and they just don't deal with it at all, and so everything builds on top of each other, builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. And then all of a sudden, then out of nowhere, like, this, you know, they'll explode, and an explosion will occur. You know what I mean? And because they're not dealing with things. But with this group, that's where a lot of your soothing and calming nature comes from, because you do know how to keep your cool, because you do deal with your emotions. You do master that. Like, you know when to rest. You know when to grieve. You know when, to let, you know, a person go when it's time to let a person go, as hurtful and painful as it may be. But you grieve, you do your grieving, you bring it up to the surface, and you let it go, because you cannot let it affect your life, and you won't let it affect your life in a negative way, because you do have other people that do love you and care for you that you need to concentrate on, and you just don't have any time or energy for this other bullshit or this other bullshit person in your life any longer. And so, you know, like I said, how to do just that. You know how to heal yourself and bring things up and just release that. So and that can be another reason too why, again, you are one of those people that others perceive to be a great partner, for a life partner, because they see that about you. They see that nature. They see that you are somebody that is very controlled in their emotions. You are an emotional person and very empathetic, but you also at the same time know how to control that, and you know how to deal with things very well, if that makes any sense at all. So anyways, I'll just leave it at that. And I hope that you guys liked it. I hope that it made sense and it resonated with you. So let me know. I always like to know when, you know, when this makes sense and when this is helpful for people. So, all right, number 2, I love y'all. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye.